Hello everybody, this is Travis Blaze at SketchToAnimate with another Back to Basics tutorial. Yes, today I'm going to be talking about storyboarding, particularly for those people who want to break into the storyboarding industry, or you're a college student, you're just finishing up school and get your portfolio together and present it to a studio. With this particular tutorial, I'm going to go through the fundamentals of what it means to be a story artist and the essentials to what you have to put together for your portfolio. Okay, first thing, things you should learn as a story artist. Number one, learn the fundamentals of story writing. Two, become a good storyteller. That means not just read and write, but also practice telling stories. Learn script writing. The better you understand how the structure of scripts work, how they're formatted, how you can break them down, and how you can write them themselves, the better you will be as a story artist when you're actually in a production. Number four, script-driven shows versus board-driven shows. Know the difference. And number five, be authentic. Pull from your own experiences. Pulling from your own experience is the best way to be authentic, the best way to put life into your character. Number six, overcome your fear of speaking in front of crowds. When you're actually boarding and you need to pitch your show, it's not uncommon for you to pitch it in front of groups of people, directors, co-directors, producers, your peers. You may be in a room where you're sitting in front of 20 people and you need to pitch your show. And it's unnerving, but the more you practice at this, the easier it gets. Number seven, maybe take an acting and improv class. When I was younger, first starting out, I actually did this. I took improv class, and I gotta tell you, it helped a lot. Going through acting and improv class really helps you get your expressions out. Once I did that and I broke through that, I was able to translate that into my boards. And number eight, practice pitching your boards. Get your boards down, pitch it in front of maybe just one person, and then maybe two people. But start pitching in front of someone. And when you're ready to put your boards together to either pitch or put them up in a portfolio, understand how to properly format your boards correctly. Understand what scenes are and what your scene panels are and how to properly number them. Understand how to lay out your dialogue in a way that properly explains your boards in sequential order. And then whenever there's directing notes or action notes, make sure to put them in their proper panels for that. That leads me to storyboard samples. You need three things: action, comedy, and acting. Keep each sample to around 30 or 50 panels. It might be 10 to 20 shots consisting of 30 to 50 panels. Each sample should illustrate a middle and beginning and end. It should showcase like a complete thought. And if it's an action, start with the action and end with an action. So if it's a situation that the character is fighting against someone, have some kind of start and then end to it. Originality is golden. Be original. Create your own ideas and thoughts. What is action, comedy, and acting in storyboards? Number one, action boards. Action boards have a combination of various camera angles and camera moves. When you go into action, perspectives are really pushed. Camera angles can change rapidly. Camera pans, smash cuts, montage series of fast cuts, Dutch angles, medium close-ups, extreme close-ups. So I put together some examples here. There's Dutch angle, extreme high angle, close-up, extreme close-up. Tracking with the character, fast cutting, especially in like montages when you have a series of fast cuts. Here I have, for instance, where you start at the top and you have our main character is running into a warehouse and he's got to run to the other side. Maybe he's being chased. How you put together your layouts. Really think in terms of depth, force perspectives, camera moves, how the character comes in and out of things. Flyby camera moves where the character jumps over the camera. These are different things that you can add to give texture and give depth and movement to your boards. With action and comedy and acting, thumbnailing and camera mapping is a must. It doesn't matter which one you're using. Don't be afraid to show your creative process either. When you're putting your portfolio together, show your thumbnails, show your camera mapping, and then show your boards, where you started from and where you ended up. And then possibly maybe even a timed animatic if you have that. great. If not, it's okay. You can still have those board samples. With comedy is probably one of the hardest things you're going to do, but it's really, really important to have that in there. With comedy boards, they tend to be staged in a way that's more like theatrical staging. The cameras are locked in and they're not moving around a whole lot because what they're focused on is the action and the gag and the comedy between the characters' interactions with one another or an object or a thing that they're dealing with. It's when your camera's moving all over the place and you're trying to do comedy, it's kind of fighting each other. Let the action happen and let the thing unfold. Keep the audience focused on the action of the comedy. That's really, really important. You can have camera moves in comedy, but typically the camera move, when it's locked on the character. The camera isn't dictating what is happening in the action. It's following along a character. You can have comedy with two characters walking and talking, and you can have the camera following along, but it's focused on them, so it's moving across as they're moving. It's not panning across and then seeing them. It's going with them. Action boards can have a variety of shots and camera moves previously mentioned. Essentially, acting can kind of encompass a lot of the things that we've already talked about. So staging is crucial with acting. Lighting is crucial. Keep close attention to the performance. We want the audience to feel the emotion, to feel the anger, to feel the laughter, to feel whatever that character is going through, and we want to be in that moment. We want to be able to see them and feel it with them because the character's acting is number one. So with acting tends to be between your hands and your face. So for instance, some of the things that I like to think about, especially when I'm storyboarding, is body posture. You know, what is the mood? If the person's angry or if he's yelling at something, how is he going to yell? How is he going to move into that pose? Get into that pose first and then get into the acting. There's this thing that I use, I call it the upside down and then right side up triangles. Upside down triangle is when you're on close-ups and you're dealing with this part of the face. So your focus is on the eyes, the eyebrows, and the mouth. When it cuts to wide shots or medium close-up shots with the characters moving around a lot, then you're going to be dealing with not just that, but you're also going to be dealing with the hands, and I call that the right side up triangle. Even if you just loosely drew in the body, but you really focus on where the hands are and what the hands are doing and what the face is doing, you can really produce some nice acting in your storyboards. Be creative and take use of foreground, middle ground, and background. I cannot express this enough. So many times I see storyboard artists that have really flat staging. Even though the boards look really nice, they could be just a little bit more if you really take advantage of the idea and make great use of foreground, middle ground, and background. Perspective is really important. The grid plane, where are we with your eye level? And where are we with perspective? So, and also use the idea of the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds will help you compose things. Try to avoid things that are straight, dead center. Just a little bit. If this is a center line, bring the head over just slightly. Or if the character's looking off this light, don't look at them right here, look at them back here. Thickness of line and tone and value. These are things that are also going to play an effect when you're boarding. Thick lines tend to push things forward, thin lines tend to push things back. And tones, I typically say white, black, and gray, but if there's variants of in between, it's great. And if you're going to have like a character is going to hold something, or if there's something important and you want to use a different color, if it's a character holding a torch, it's okay to make that torch yellow to indicate that that's flame, that's fire. But everything else, just use gray tones for the rest. Other than that, keep it simple. Getting a solid understanding of cinematography and photography is essential. When I was in college, I learned photography. Pick up a book, watch tutorials, get online. If you have the money, grab a camera, buy one, rent one, borrow one, but then go ahead and start practicing, messing around with that. Really, really think about how you can really manipulate the camera and the camera lens, rack focusing and showing depth of field, something that's far away, and how can you zoom in on it. All of those things that you use with the camera is going to be really crucial and important when you put it into your own board. So again, these are just samples below of some of the things that I'm talking about in terms of the types of diversity in your boards. My final thoughts here is, when it comes to a studio that you want to approach, or you want to submit a portfolio to, know who you're submitting to. You need to really research and understand, do I fit their culture? Do the projects that they make resonate with me? Find studios that you feel like you can grow and learn from. That's really, really important. I always say good people make great projects and a positive experience. Animation is a group effort, it's a team effort. And the better you can get along with the team, the people that you work with, the better that project's gonna be. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have one of the best experiences you'll ever had, and you'll walk away learning a ton. Be a good communicator and even a better listener. When you read the script, ask questions, but really listen to what the vision of the director is looking for, and take lots of notes. And be a team player. Not only do you learn, you will grow so much as an artist as long as you're able to be a good team player. And stay positive and have fun. I want you to be able to walk into a room and say, you know what, I get to draw every day. I get to make boards, and I get to be around amazing people that are creative and fun. So there you go. That wraps up another Back to Basics tutorial. I'm Travis Blaze at SketchToAnimate. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please like and comment. And always, please share this to others. I look forward to seeing you next time.